Alright, what's up guys and girl? So today I'm gonna go over how I got over the backflip fear, okay? And a lot of people are gonna argue, or you don't have to argue, okay? Because I'll just argue for you. There are possibly better ways to do this, but this is just how I did it because I got a question asking me, yo man, how'd you get over the backflip fear? And this is gonna be how I did it, alright? It's really rigged, it's really like just go outside and do it. Okay, disclaimer number 2 is I whip it back, alright? Like when you do backflips in most tutorials, they'll say you jump straight up and then you pull your feet in. For me, I whip it back, alright? Jumping straight up. For me, F that. I'm not doing that shit. But for real, okay? If you learn it that way, that's great, okay? But this is just how I got over the fear because some of you guys are wondering, alright? So this is how I did it, man, okay? Okay, first thing. If you're in a situation like me, okay, say like when I learned this, I did not have access to like a gymnasium, to like a gymnastics place, because there you could like get on like a you know, you get those blocks and you can turn yourself backwards and learn on like pads and stuff. Okay, but you don't have access to that because I didn't have access to a gymnasium when I was learning this. Or if you don't have access to like pads or anything, what you gotta do is you gotta take all of the places that you have access to, alright? Just think about all the places you have access to practice, and what is the place that gives you the least fear for doing a backflip, okay? The least fear for turning upside down in the air, and you got to choose that place and you got to go practice there, because the worst thing that can happen, IMO in my opinion, is you go to do it and you freak out in midair and then you just land on your head, okay? Straight up. And for me, that place was honestly the wood chips. I don't know why, it just, to me, in my head, the wood chips were softer than the grass, alright? And I know we're at the grass right now, but the wood chips was where I like learned how to like, you know, get over the fear gradually, progressively, okay? And the grass is good. Like, you know, you have access to grass and that really gives you, you know, like, oh, this is soft, alright, this is good. After it rains, you know, but, you know, don't slip. If that makes you feel like you're pretty safe, then, you know, you gotta go with what you think is the most safe, what makes you feel the most comfortable. Don't listen to other people. Yo, man, don't do it over there, you know, straight up, you know, you gotta do it over here. Dude, that shit, man. You do it where you want to do it because it's you who's gonna get busted up if you fail, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, worry about yourself, okay? Alright, yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, if you want to work with somebody, you know, if you like working with people and you want a spotter, a lot of people swear by getting a spotter to, you know, get over the fear. Someone who like stands there and helps turn you back. Then, if that works for you, if that's how you operate and stuff, I would do it then, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do what's comfortable for you, man. Or girl out there, or woman. If you're into getting someone to work with you, then, you know, flip you over, get a spotter, then I would suggest doing that. But for me, you know, I just like to do stuff by myself. I like to do it right at the moment. I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this right now. I'm so mad, I can't wait around for people, you know. I'm just like, I'm doing this like to train by myself, that way I can get like, you know, get all the energy and focus. That's just me, alright? Straight up, that's just me. What works for you, you know, if you want someone to help you flip you over and that's gonna give you better peace of mind, go for that. But for me, I went out there and I just started whipping them like I'm gonna show you. A few other things I did is I gave myself some reassurance. I did some stretches, alright? And I mastered, well, I didn't master, I was able to do the bridge, which, you know, is like I'll demonstrate that for you right now. Alright? I was able to do this stretch right here like this, okay? And once I could do that, it gave me a peace of mind. It made me feel like, you know, I can do that. I could put my hands on the ground while my feet are still touching, do an arc like that. It just made me feel more flexible and more safe, like I wasn't gonna snap my neck. You know what I'm saying? And then I also did a reverse stretch too. I made sure I was pretty flexible doing this. Yeah, you know what that's useful for. Tucking the chin, stretching all your joints in your back. So if I did beef, I would tuck my chin, crack. Worst thing that would happen is my head would split open like a melon, but I wouldn't break my neck, you know what I'm saying? And that gave me a peace of mind, okay? Okay, so that's 2 things to get over the fear. Stretching out, developing my flexibility. Okay, now, the actual attempts. When I'd actually attempt it, this is how I would do it, alright? This is how I did it, okay? As I'm like, alright, I got this, man. Be like, okay. See, cause I whipped it, all right. I didn't jump straight up and then bring my feet in, bust around, okay. When I do a backflip, I whip that. I whip it like that, all right. But how I got over doing it is I just go like this. Be like, I'd favor a side that I turn to. So I'd be like, oh, do that a few times. All right? So I'd be like, oh, okay? And then I do this repetitively. And I try and get more backwards each time. All right? Until I had a crappy back handspring like I just did right there. And then I would try it, and then I'd try and like not use my hands, but like be careful with, put my hands there just in case. Repetition, repetition, repetition. It was all about repetition, okay? Just practicing it over and over. You're gonna be so accustomed to doing it, it's gonna get so put in your muscle memory that the fear isn't gonna be there, because you're like, I got this, baby, I can do this. Repetition. So whichever way you learn, I would suggest, you know, learning it the right way. If you want to get maximum height, jumping more straight up is gonna give you better, you know, better height. I'll leave some links to some good tutorials like strength projects and my friend Ryan, who has a nice tutorial, in the description. But for fear, repetition, baby. Just repetition, repetition, repetition. Because you want to put that in your memory that like, I can do this, okay? And like correct repetition. And eventually, man, you'll just be like, pop, bust it out. You know, you just be like, oh, yeah. I also like to do a little hop, you know? Pretty little hop, you know? That's all me. Alright, so I seriously hope this helps out. That's how I got over the fear. Just throwing back those like cheesy to the side, making it go more to the middle, and then eventually just going over and over, you know? Repetition, okay? Get over that fear of turning backwards. There's also other ways you can get over the fear, but that's how I did it, alright? That's just how I did it. Said that a bajillion times. Hope this helps, guys. Peace. Alright, I'm gonna try jumping straight up. This is gonna be a fail. Still lean back a little bit. That's just how I do it. I lean back a little bit. Alright? I think you have to lean back a little bit, or like jump up and then drive your knees in fast to the way they push you back. But after that, I'm not doing that, man. Alright, all you triggers and gymnasts out there, man, you guys probably do them way higher and way better than me, but that's just how I did it, man. Alright, so hope that helps out a lot, guys. You know, like, it gives you a peace of mind that you can learn this outside, and, you know, I mean, learn it the right way. If you want to get maximum height, jump more straight up, tuck your chin, repetition. Peace, guys.